True story. I met Coretta King when I was in the 7th grade, and I'll never forget what she said. My teacher took me and 3 other students from Columbus, Ohio, all the way to Atlanta. Now, mind you, I'm young. I think this was probably actually my first real commercial flight. I remember being excited just walking through the airport like, man, this feels big. We even had a stop in Detroit before we got there. And I remember just looking out the window thinking, man, I'm really out here. And once we got to Atlanta, she didn't just take us on a trip. She exposed us to life. We went to Six Flags over Georgia. Yeah, that part was fun. But then she took us to Grady Memorial Hospital. And I remember walking into a room full of teenage mothers. And that hit different. Because as a kid, you don't always see real life up that close. That was one of those moments where it's like, okay, this world is bigger than what I see every day. We met politicians at a dinner, people shaking hands, having conversations. And I'm just observing everything, trying to take it all in. And then she took us to the Martin Luther King Jr. Center for Nonviolent Social Change. And somehow we ended up in a one-on-one meeting with Coretta King, the wife of Martin Luther King Jr. And I'm sitting there as a kid like, how am I even in this room right now? At one point, her assistant walks in and says, Mrs. King, the people from NBC are here. And I'll never forget this. She didn't rush. She didn't look stressed. She didn't even hesitate. She calmly said, they can wait. I'm with the children right now. And I'm telling you, that right there, that did something to me. Because in that moment, she showed me what really mattered. Not cameras, not attention, not being on TV, but presence. Being right where you are with who you're with. I remember she signed a pamphlet for me. It had her picture on it. She wrote, Tony Genovese, best wishes for your future. I remember when she started spelling my last name wrong. So I corrected her. And if you look at it today, you can actually see where she fixed it. I still have that. What's crazy is about 20 years later after that, I actually ended up living in Atlanta myself. And from time to time, I would go back to the King Center, just walking through, thinking about that moment, thinking about being that kid in that room. I never got to see her again, though, but I didn't need to, because what she gave me in that moment stayed with me. And every time I think about it, I remind myself, no matter how important life gets, never forget who's in front of you. I could be right. I could be wrong. Let me know what you think in the comments.